Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. The last episode, we went and built up a small little froglight farm because we needed froglights for a small little project that I wanted to do at our world spawn. And with the froglights obtained, it's time that we go ahead and get that. So I've gone and got ourselves a compass here so that we can navigate to world spawn. We know where it is. We just don't know where the exact world spawn is. So I want to do something there and just kind of mark that out a little bit and make it a little bit safer for when we forget to set our spawn somewhere. So with our shulker no longer lurking at world spawn, should be a lot better. And we should probably check to see if the bug that causes all the mobs to show up at Y3000 or something is still in effect, because we can use that to double check if we have the right spot. So we have our massive pool of water here that we are going to be removing shortly. Okay, so it looks like it's about here. So if we have that right, then anything that we toss through the end portal should land there. Go ahead and grab, we have got a chicken here. All right, chicken, we're going on an adventure. You're going to help us test if we have the right spot. And also if the bug is still in effect that caused us to have to oat our shulker, and it was a mess. It was a massive mess trying to get that shulker to the overworld. But getting in this small little section here is going to be the first stage on something that I've been wanting to do for a while. We have this massive field here that kind of goes between the biosphere tower, the raid farm, our main base, and the spawn here. And I've been kind of wanting to do something with this, kind of add more little things to here and just decorate along the roadway that we have going between our different areas. So this is going to provide us with a nice starting point for that. I don't know how much of this we're actually going to do and what we're going to do with it, but it should be something, just nice little decorations for us to put in throughout the area. All right, chicken at our end return portal. There we go, one chicken through. Toss a bunch of our orange wool through. And if we're right, we should see these all back at our world spawn. And hopefully we have the right spot marked out. If we don't see the chicken, then we know that the bug, actually, if we don't see any of it, then we know that the bug is still in effect. And they'll all appear there at some point. But this way, we'll have a better chance. Oh, we have a chicken. We have orange wool. We have the right spot. That means we can start our decorating. So around our verdant froglight, and yes, this was the entire thing that we needed froglights for, was one spot right here. I'm gonna put some calcite. Go ahead and get some smooth quartz stairs around that. And now, once we have those in place, we can go ahead and start draining out the water here. So, if we have that, we should be able to start marking out the area that we're gonna want to be building in. I've got a rough idea of what I want to do here, and just kind of create a nice little kind of gardeny area through this section. So I'm going to go ahead and get that marked out with a couple things of wool, and then I'll be back once we're ready to start building a little bit. All right, so I've gone and marked out the basic design that I want to do here. So we have our center platform here that has our spawn point marked out. We currently have our stonecutter on top of it for now. And then we've got 4 paths going off in each direction. For now, the only ones that we're going to focus on are going to be this one, which will eventually lead all the way over to our main base. You can see it just peeking out over the trees right there. And this one here, which will probably do a path that's going to connect over to the biosphere tower. Now, these 2 ones we'll put in, but they're not really going to go anywhere just yet, because we don't have anything in this direction. Pretty much all of our builds have been in this general direction. So we'll have to go and eventually figure out something to go this way. The end portal is this way, at least our original one. But I don't think we really need to do a walking path all the way out there. We could. But if we do that, then I want to make sure that we have other things along the way. So it's not just a random path going off to a nether portal that, not another portal, an end portal that we pretty much never visit anymore. Now the blue area here is marking out a little moat that I'd like to do. So we're going to go ahead and dig this down a few blocks. Not quite sure exactly how deep we're going to put this. We could do 3 here. That'll give us a nice little moat here. I think we might go down, what, 4, 5? I think 5. 5 looks good. So we're going to have to go ahead and figure out exactly how that's going to be. We need to dig out this one here so we can put in the wall. But we're going to go ahead and fill this with 1, maybe 2 blocks of water. And I got some sea pickles for us to put into there. And I think this will look really nice. It'll be a nice way of separating out our main area here that we have our spawn in from the rest of the area. And we're going to just basically kind of line that with our stone bricks and mossy stone bricks. I got a few of the cracked ones that we can slip in there as well. I only found 8 in our storage so far and haven't really gone and crafted any more of those. So we may do that. I just haven't quite decided how much of those we're going to put in. But for now, we have to go ahead and dig that out all the way around here. That'll give us a nice decent sized area in the middle here to work with and decorate. And we can figure out what we're going to do with that. Hopefully the grass regrows soon. Don't necessarily want to be working with just a blank pad of dirt for all of this. But I'm going to go ahead and get that dug out. Probably get a bed out here so we can actually sleep. Looks like it's supposed to be raining or something. This guy's a little weird. Oh well. I'll get that dug out and then I'll be back once we're ready to put in our pathways. Alright, so we now have the entire moat dug out. I did end up going for just 3 blocks and we haven't done anything for the bottom yet. I'm thinking mossy cobblestone, and maybe a bit of gravel in there as well. Have to play around with it just to see what looks best and get our sea pickles in there. I'm thinking we can probably go ahead and put either a wooden fence or maybe a stone brick fence all the way around the outside here. Maybe with some of the dark oak that we got. At the very least, it'll keep out some of the zombies and skellies that wander in from the dark oak forest. Thinking for our bridges, we're going to use some endstone and birch. I'm still working that out. But for our pathways here, got a few things that we are going to need for that. It's going to be a mix of packed mud. Got some copper bulbs that we're going to wait to get oxidized to the first layer so that they're the nice bright pink. And we're going to do some paths, some jungle planks, and some dripstone, which I don't actually have any of. We are pretty much completely out. I did check our storage, the redstone pit, and there is none there. So we are going to need to go get a bit of that. I believe there should be some near the ancient city that we have by the ruined village. So we'll have to go ahead and grab a bit of that. Don't think we'll need a whole lot, maybe half a stack at the most, maybe a full stack here. But I think that'll be a nice mix. And once our bulb's fully oxidized, they'll blend in really well into the pathway. Now, we do need to go ahead and turn those on because I want to use those as part of our lighting for this area. We'll get some moss carpets to put over the torches here and work those into the groundwork. But for our main center area, I wanted these to be part of it. Suppose we could get some of the orange froglets as well to mix in here. Those might work well. But I think they'll be a little too orange for the pink dirtiness of this path. I think the copper bulbs will look much nicer. So we're going to have to go grab that. But I'm quite happy with how this is turning out so far. I'm thinking in some of the corner sections that we'll put in some trees and plants into here. I was originally thinking maybe some sort of like hedge mage thing. I think I might save that for farther out in the field. That would be a nice little decoration to put along the side. But in terms of our bridge, I'm thinking just going to do that and that. Gets us a nice little space there marked out. Just going to be a pain getting in and out of here. We may have to put some sort of ladders just in case we fall in. I'm hoping that once we get this in, we should just be able to walk right across. But we'll use some jungle planks for our flooring of that. Got some birch fences that we can use for our railings, and a little bit of our sandstone bricks as well as part of our walls and support here. I've also got some cherry leaves here for this, but I think I might want to mix a few other types in as well. So I'm going to do that for our walkway. So now we can walk across this thing. Got birch fences here on the corners. Want some endstone bricks a little bit higher up. We have kind of a nice little arch there. And there we go. Kind of like that. Definitely need to go ahead and bring our birch fence posts up here a little bit, because I do want to hang some plants from these eventually. So we can go ahead and put in that. We'll do this as a nice little trellis and go from there. So I've got some cherry blossoms to go on there. Thinking we might grab some azaleas as well to hang on there. And that should be good. We just have to repeat that another 3 times. Grab our dripstone and figure out again what we're going to put in the corners. So I'm going to go check to see if that dripstone is over by the ancient city. Should be mostly safe. And then I'll be back once we've got the main pathing decorations here in. All right, there we go. You can see how this looks with the dripstone in it, and I really like that. I think it'll look really nice once our copper lights oxidize here. And I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. I need to get a little bit more birch to finish up the rest of the trellises for the other bridges, but we do have the bridge in, so we can now go any direction off of this and head off. But for the one that we do have in, what we're going to do is we have our cherry and our flowering azalea here, and those are going to kind of go around here like this. Now, I do have some copper lanterns here that I think we're going to set on the ends of the bridges to kind of light them up and get us some bits of light onto there. But I'm really liking how this is starting to turn out. So we're just going to mix these all together. So we have our cherry blossoms as our fully in bloom blocks. We have our flowering azalea ones as our partially in bloom. And then our azalea leaves are just kind of here as mixing in together as just leaves that haven't quite fully gone into bloom yet. So we'll just go ahead and mix those in. Shouldn't be too bad through here. I don't think we're going to go much farther past the edge of the bridge. So when we're walking along, we'll just have this here. I do need to get some space here along the top and figure out how we're going to do the inside here, because I don't necessarily want to just leave it like this, but we'll see how that works and see how we can get all of this set up. But other than that, I'm quite happy with how this area is turning out. And I do need to figure out some decoration out here a little bit better, but at least the basic structure is in. And this place is quite a bit safer than it used to be. Granted, part of that was taking the shulker out of the area and putting it in the redstone pit, but now we have a fully lit up spawn area here, and the bridges do limit the number of mobs that can get across here to attack us. And as you can kind of see, our moat is filled in as well. So we left the top block off there, and we've got our sea pickles in there. It looks like I need to grab a few more sea pickles as well. And also light up the forest, because we've got lots of mobs coming in from the forest. But with that, I think that I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the bridge here in and decorated with the flowers and the leaves. I think that is probably going to be about it for today. So, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more what is going on in this area and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.